What is your favorite tool or trick or hack that makes your life more convenient or efficient or fun?
Okay. My favorite hack is that if I can somehow, if I want something done, if I can somehow get that landed on your to-do list, then I'm pretty certain it'll get done. So that's my hack. Somehow convince Devi that it is in your or our benefit for that to happen and have it be landed on your to-do list.
How often does that work? That was not on
If,
my list of questions, but how often does that work?
well, I mean, which part? If it lands on your to-do list, it'll work out 100% fine, nearly 100% fine.
You have
How
no
often?
Yeah.
How often can I land things on your to-do list? I don't know, surprisingly often.
What is your favorite tool or trick or hack that makes your life more convenient or more efficient or more fun?
Oh. Hack that makes your life more convenient or more fun. I don't know. One thing that makes my job a lot more fun is that I've been working outside a lot more, which has been pretty fun. Because I have a garden with crazy water features, I'll take meetings with like things like going like water just spouting around in the background, and so I think that's fun. And the people I talk to, if I'm here in my office, they'll be like, "Why aren't you outside? I want to see your family." So I'm not out there today because of the air quality, but that's definitely something that makes my job a lot more fun, even if it's not like a hack.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. What is your one favorite tool or trick or hack that makes your life more convenient, more efficient, more fun?
There are a few, and I don't know if they're universal, but they work for me. One is getting up early and having a few hours for clear, focused work before I get to email or meetings and so forth. I'm pretty sure that's not universal. Some people prefer the late time, and I don't think this is going to work for them. But it works for me. There are a few lists that I maintain that to me seem extremely useful. One of them is my reading list. So what I do is if I see a paper, a technical paper that I want to read, I simply add it to my reading list. And I don't stress out if my reading list grows. My reading list fluctuates in size. Its longest, it had more than 300 papers in it, and the backlog stretched back by more than 2 years. Right now, my reading list has about 100 papers, and it stretches back to May. I think I'm almost done with May. May meaning that's when I put the paper on the reading list, not when the paper was reading. Some papers from May, they're from the 80s, perhaps. And that's actually what I read in the morning. So when I get up in the morning, I will open my reading list and pick a paper from my reading list, and I read. That basically means that everything I've been interested in, I will read. It will not fall through the cracks. I will get to it. It may not be this month, it may not be this year, but I will get to it and I will read it. That seems very, very useful. And because of the reading list, I will always read the right thing. When I start reading, it's not going to be something random. It's something that I intentionally put on my reading list. Well, the past me, the me from May 2020, put on my reading list.
Right.
The other list that I maintain, and that's in a somewhat different form, is a list of ideas. I maintain a folder with ideas, and when I have an idea that seems good, let's say an idea for a project, it usually is an idea for a research project, I will write it up. I will put a date on it. I will create a new file in my ideas folder, and I will write up the idea. And that has a number of effects. First of all, writing up an idea usually improves it. It crystallizes the idea. The act of writing it, even though I'm writing it for myself, the idea becomes more concrete and more fleshed out than just thinking it. So the act of writing actually crystallizes the idea and usually elaborates on it. I write more than I would have thought. And then in the future, when I get related ideas, I will expand on that idea in the same file. I will write additional aspects, additional improvements, so that maybe a year later, or 2 years later, or 3 years later, when the circumstances are right, and I feel like the time is right and I have the right ingredients to act on this, I will often have pages upon pages upon pages of notes for that idea, and we can just hit the ground running. There are many aspects of the project that I already thought through, and it was effortless because at any given time it was maybe a quick note. I see a related data set, I go to this ideas file, I write down, oh, here's a related data set. A month later, I see a related algorithm, I write down, oh, here's a related algorithm. 2 years later, I have a file with 10 data sets, all the baselines, all the related work, and we can just execute on the project.
Yeah. That sounds great. What is one of your favorite tools or tricks or hacks that you think have made your life more fun, more efficient, more convenient?
Well, I like having a nice space to work. So that's one thing. I try to, but that doesn't make necessarily anything more efficient. Or I feel like if I am in a place that I like being, then I become more efficient immediately because I just enjoy doing things there.
Right.
But I haven't managed to really do a good time management or anything like that. So I think it's really, I'm very sensitive to the cosmetics around where I work.
Right.
If I don't have the right notebook, it's harder to be clean. So it's the same thing. And, being in a place that you have your books and you have space to write and you can things that look nice, this is important to me, and this has makes my work easier.
Yeah, makes sense. What is your one favorite trick or tip or hack that makes your life more convenient, more fun, more efficient?
My Vitamix blender. Making smoothies in my Vitamix blender. If I don't have time to eat well, I just put everything in it and I can drink my vegetables in like 5 minutes. I mean, I all for cooking nice meals and stuff, but if I know I'm not going to take, the time to do this, having my Vitamix blender to have good nutrition. I mean, the number one tip is always sleeping. Everybody should sleep more. But if I already do that, then the next thing is eating well, like Vitamix blender.
Yeah. What is your favorite tool or trick or hack or something of that sort that makes your life more fun, more efficient, more convenient? Anything of that sort?
I don't know if I have anything of special. I read a lot.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I think that, and I read pretty fast. So,
Hmm.
so I think that's an advantage that I have, that I can read papers and so on fairly quickly,
Hmm.
and which helps me a little bit. When I was an undergrad, it helped me cram for exams quickly. But now its main value is going through, a pile of papers.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's the one thing which is helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. What is your one favorite tool or trick or hack that makes your life more fun or more efficient or more convenient in some way?
I mean, maybe I've hinted at that before, but the very, very systematic use of my calendar, which I think you can relate with to. To the point where I know, like, I often get people want to set meetings with me, and they're like, "Just can you tell me when?" Because they just can't figure it out from my calendar because it looks like a nightmare. It makes sense to me, but that is one thing that has been really, really useful. And in particular, whenever I start getting, like, I do have a sense of what's coming up. But if there's too much stuff, just writing it down in my calendar and putting time away just frees my mind and makes me much less nervous. That to me is it's really invaluable. So that's probably the main key thing that makes me kind of function, and I find as a lot of value beyond just, being on time for certain things.
Yeah. What is one of your favorite tools or tricks or hacks that you use that makes your life more fun or more efficient or more convenient?
A trick that I use. I don't know. I'm big on sending myself emails. Just like reminders, things to do. Yeah. When I can't go to sleep, usually like sending myself an email is a good way to get it out of my head. It's sitting in the inbox, so it's as good as a to-do list. But yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And I'll send the same email to 3 of my email addresses. If it's really important, and if it's not so important, I'll just send it to one. I have a McGill address, a Facebook address, and I have a personal address. And the really important stuff I send to all 3.
Interesting.
And otherwise, it's one or the other.
Interesting. Why is that though? Like, what does all 3 buy you?
Like more real estate on the screen. Because you just get like so much volume of email on each of these boxes that it can slip by, but the chance that it slips by in all 3 boxes is less so.
Interesting. Yeah. What is one of your favorite tricks or tools or hacks that you use to make life more convenient or fun or efficient?
It's been a while since I've come up with a good, I don't write code, so I'm not going to I can't give you a sort of programming coding answer. And the only code I write is LaTeX, and I'm not particularly good at I used to be really good at like space saving LaTeX tricks, but I feel like now I've just gotten to be a better writer, and I don't need to do that as much, or I'm just really good at trimming away extra words. Let's see. I found a plugin for my browser that shows me horizontally what all the tabs are on the right side. I can't think of the name, but that's that's definitely something that has saved me time and pain. takes up, horizontal real estate, which is cheaper. I found a really good to-do manager called OmniFocus, which I switched to not too long ago. And I think it's the first time I've paid money for a pro version of something, but it's good. It's kind of like, I definitely feel like there's more dopamine kick when you check things off and like put things on you really want the dopamine when you put the thing on the list, so you feel good and you keep putting things on the list rather than like trying to remember them in the back of your mind. That one's pretty good, and you can do a lot of customization stuff, and there are some neat tricks in there. I would recommend that. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. What is one favorite tool or trick or hack that you use to make life more fun or more efficient or more convenient in some way?
Let's see. Sorry. Well, I ride my bike a lot. I mean, I exercise like every day, and I think that really helps. And I get a lot of sleep, and I think that really helps. The hack that I haven't succeeded to learn or develop is how to avoid meetings and sit down and do work instead. And that's the hack that I want to develop.
Yeah.
And just really focusing on one thing is also what I want to develop.
Yeah.
Again, I'm constantly like I got just yet a new to-do list mechanism, and I'm trying to use that to help me to just focus on one thing and do it.
Yeah. What is your one favorite tool or trick or hack that you use that makes your life more convenient or efficient or fun?
This is a bit funny. So since work from home started, I mean, when I was going to office, I would eat lunch in the office. But since work from home started, I hadn't figured out what I would do for lunch. So I just started cooking rice and lentils in lunch, and that would it would take some time because I would then saute the lentils, and B, it would make me drowsy after eating. So I wasn't happy with my lunch plans, and then suddenly one day I realized I could just eat salad. It wouldn't take me as much time. It would just take me bringing salad from the grocery store, putting everything in this machine, maybe 30 minutes, and it would be good for my health as well, my stomach, and I wouldn't feel drowsy. And I'm doing that happily, and I don't know why it didn't occur to me earlier.
Yeah.
So, I was proud to say that when you asked, what were you doing just before this, I was proudly saying I was having a salad.
What is a favorite tool or trick or hack that you use that makes life more convenient or efficient or fun?
Believe it or not, I like to go to the command prompt on my Mac every so often. Because sometimes it's easier to do a script than doing the click and drag of stuff using a mouse. So it's right. It's wait, why are you? But sometimes it's just oh, I need to find this so I can use the finder and then look at it, and then you have to look in it's complicated. Whereas I'm let me just do a script and it's done.
Yeah. What is a tool or a trick or a hack that you use that makes your life more convenient or more fun or more efficient?
Oh my God. I don't know. Well, I don't really know if this is an answer, but I have a command center of a setup for my office. So I have a footstool, I have the chair, I have the and I have this kinetic 360 or whatever it's called keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really important for my ergonomics, because I used to have so many. I had to take 2 years off a while back, because of my hand issues and all these other issues. And so I think that helps me a lot. And people I used to dismiss that kind of stuff before, but especially being at home constantly. So yeah, so that's one thing. And I have a joystick mouse, which is like a joystick.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is a favorite tool or trick or hack or something you use to make life more fun or efficient or convenient that you think might be good to share?
So it's not really, I guess, a tool or a hack, but one of the things that was helpful to me that I keep in mind is the idea of like circle of control, that like there's things that you can do something about and there's things that you can't do anything about, and just like not to waste your energy and stress like thinking about the things that you can't do anything about. I think that simplifies a lot of things in life and reduces like anxiety and stress.
What is a favorite tool or trick or hack that you use to make life more fun or convenient or efficient that you think might be good to share?
I think for me, it's change, right? It's always this kind of constant new learning and new things. So, and the way I do that now is by doing Air for Science and having more interdisciplinary collaborators. So there's so much wealth of knowledge in these new areas, so nothing feels jaded. And it's so exciting now, the possibilities of how AI can make an impact there. So I think the constant learning is something that I can't imagine a life without that. And so when I feel like one area is saturated, I always tend to also broaden. I mean, not abandon that area, but see how those tools could be used in new ways, and also draw inspiration from new areas back into AI, right? So it's then you're kind of having a broader perspective.
Yeah.
So that's what I hope to continue doing.
Yeah. Is there a tool or a trick or a hack that you use to make life more fun or efficient or convenient?
That's a great question. Not right now, but when I used to travel, I never checked in luggage. So I have this kind of one bag philosophy, and I think it's something that I actually learned from my wife, and we've gone all over with just kind of carry on luggage. And I think it helps you, it saves time, of course, but there's also an element where it helps you, decide what you really want to bring with you, and to kind of, and helps you approach your trip with a little bit more of mindfulness. So I think that's a hack that I encourage people to try when they're traveling.
Yeah. What is your favorite tool or trick or hack that you use to make life more efficient or fun or convenient?
I like to multitask. So I often will, here's a slightly embarrassing but good example. So I will often have a print news magazine like The Economist or something sitting on the bathroom counter while I'm flossing my teeth. And I will have the music on. And then in order to stretch, I will loop the floss under my hamstring and floss that way.
Wow. I see you were serious about the multitasking. Yeah. Is there like a favorite tool or a trick or a hack that you use in your life that makes it more efficient or more fun or more convenient that you think might be good to share?
Tricks of, let's see. I think the idea of converting to-do list to calendar is really good one. So sometimes I will use something even for something trivial, I will still add that to the calendar.
Yeah.
And that calendar helped me to kind of understand the capacity of my work, so that I can still get things done. And it's also fun to kind of give basically myself some reward about you get these things done. Even though it's just put it there and click it off. Something that kind of give yourself a positive feedback.
Yeah. Like
that's
a
something
immediate.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. I was saying that it's something I think is very interesting concept, and then kind of works well in practice. But of course, it's sometimes you still have to be more flexible in terms of the times, because for example, there may be many different interruption so we need to shuffle these things around. But yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.